Welcome back to the Road to 237. This is episode 12. Past week was a pretty good week of running. Got 72 miles in total, which covered a 22-mile long run and some good workouts. I had a nice little progression run in Lexington, Kentucky, and then got back to the track for the first time in about 6 months, I guess, with a 400 workout. And I cover some detail on the 400 in this episode. So let's take a look and see how this week went. Day one of the week, just finished up on the treadmill. We are traveling back to Columbus, so this was a hotel workout for me, hotel run. Looked at the area and we're right off the highway, and it just didn't seem like there were great roads to run on. Not familiar with the area. It was dark when I got up to get started because we want to hit the road early here. So all in all, just decided to go with the treadmill, which I don't love, but there's a time and a place for it, and this was that time and place. So also ended up going not as far as I would have liked. Part of that is, again, timing. Part of it is I did about as much as I could on the treadmill. But I think that's the really important piece to emphasize here as far as training goes is, you know, at the end of the week, if I'm at 70 or 72 miles, I don't think my body's really gonna know that much of a difference, right? The important thing is that I got easy, consistent miles in today, and that's what the goal was. So don't hold yourself to a specific mileage goal if there's other things in life that are going on. All right, early Tuesday morning, we've got 3 hours of driving to go. I'm gonna get a 10-mile progression run in this morning before we hit the road. And most importantly, we'll stop at my favorite donut shop in the world in Lexington, Kentucky here, North Lime Coffee and Donuts. They're fantastic. They've got some good ones out today. Progression run should be taking me from 6:45-ish down to 1 mile at half marathon pace, 6-minute pace. So there's a nice little park here I think I'm gonna go run at. So should be good. Left the hotel room and, you know, got ready down in the lobby, used the lobby bathroom. It's a little trick to keep the kids asleep. So let's go hit the progression run. We made it back to Columbus. It's Wednesday morning. I'm gonna get a 10-miler in today. All easy miles after a little bit of the progression run yesterday, and get ready for some 400s tomorrow. I'll do some strides to kind of keep everything loose as well. So Columbus wanted to give us one more cool day. I think it's in the 30s right now, but I'm told that every other day the rest of the week, and then the next week it'll be back in the 60s. So one last cool day of running. All right, day 4. Got 12 miles total today with 16 400-meter repeats as the workout. The goal is to hit 5K-ish pace on these, so looking to do 75 to 80 seconds per rep with 200-meter rest interval in there. So this will be a fun, tough workout. It's a quick one. Going through the kids' gym here. Yeah, I think it'll be good to get back on a track. I haven't been on a track in a while because they're hard to come by in Florida, but here in Ohio, at least last time I was here, you could still get on the tracks as long as it was early enough. So that's the goal. We'll go see how it goes. Done with the 400s, cooling down now. The 400s went really well. I'm really happy with it. I think I hit every single one at or right around goal pace, so that was fantastic. You know, I think something to think about for future 400 workouts is maybe holding the recovery pace a little bit easier, or consistent rather, not easier, but holding that a bit more consistent makes the workout, you know, a little bit harder, gives you more of an aerobic base versus just, you know, that strength and speed component. But that's what I was after today. So all in all, a really solid workout. Happy with how today went. Saturday morning, I am headed to Antrim Lake to meet a buddy for my long run today. I'm doing it on a Saturday instead of a Sunday because with everything going on Easter-wise, want to just make sure that there's time for family, and we've got an egg hunt at church, so Saturday's going to work out well. It actually worked out really well with my buddy too. He is running a virtual 10K, and so I'm going to help pace him. And he had to run it on Saturday to be eligible for age group awards and everything, so that'll be fun for him. And like I said, I'll help pace him for the 10K, and then he's gonna hop on his bike and ride for the rest of the 20 with me, so win-win for everybody. Plan is to hit Buckeye Donuts again on this run, and since he's on a bike, we'll be able to throw those in a bag and be good to go. Lesson learned from last time, we're taking a backpack so we don't have donuts all over the sidewalk. No chaos today. But it is looking pretty wet at some point during our run. I think we'll be okay for the first hour and a half or so, but then it has a chance to open up on us, so we'll see how it goes. All long, easy, slow miles for me, so nothing I need to be worried about in the rain like that. I just did some extra chafe stick just to make sure that if it does rain, everything stays fine, including my toes. I've had a long run in the rain where, of all things, it was the top of my toes that rubbed against the socks and my shoes, and that's what really kind of made my toes raw. So you put some anti-chafe stick on top of your toes and help keep them from getting into issues if your feet are going to be wet. So should be a nice morning for it. If there's a little bit of rain, that'll be great. I hope it's not too much, but it's all good. All right, wrapping up the week here. I'm calling today's run a happy hour of running, haha, because it is Easter. All easy miles today, recovering from yesterday's 22 miler. Planned on being 20. There was some construction and things, so we rerouted a bit, ended up getting in 22 in total, so felt really good though. It was a fun mix-up of things. I think I mentioned I paced a buddy for a 10K. He ended up second in his age group, which was fun, and then he swapped out for a bike and biked with me for the rest of it, so all good miles there. Overall high mileage week for me. I think this is 72 miles, so it's about as high as I get. I think I'm planning on getting some 80-mile weeks in during the true marathon block. Just, building that aerobic base so that come marathon day it feels normal and easy, and we'll try something different there. But all in all, good easy miles today. I'm excited to be back in Columbus. It's some really good running weather right now, and yeah, we'll see what next week brings. All right, well, thanks so much for watching. As we get into week 13 here, should be another good week of running. Not a down week, but won't be 72 miles, maybe 70, I think maybe 68, somewhere in that neighborhood. But not the long run this weekend. It'll be, I think, 14 or 16 miles this weekend, but some good hard workouts planned for the week. A nice mile repeat session, kicking off with a 2-mile and then getting into mile repeats, and a nice tempo run for a second workout in there. So should be a fun week of workouts. We are about 5 weeks, I think, away from the Columbus 10K. So really in that block where I'm focused on 10K specific training. So that's where some of the mile repeats, even the 400s last week, we're kind of getting into that true 10K training block. So really excited for the 10K this year. I've got some big goals, wanting to get 35 minutes or so around there. All the training and some of the early races that I've had are pointing to that being possible, so it's going to be time to stay healthy and just go execute on all the good training that we've put in. So as we're getting closer to Columbus 10K, I'll continue to detail some of the workouts that I'm doing, as well as the rationale as to why and why they are where they are in the training cycle. But would love to hear from you if you have questions, ideas, tips, comments, anything that I can help you with on your running journey as well. I'm a firm believer that that's how we all learn, is ask questions. Let me help answer some questions. I'll learn something from that as well. But again, thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you next week.